Hello and welcome to the final of our Crisis Ready Scenic Room videos, looking at the recovery process after a crisis situation. Now, although it's been a really speedy overview, we hope that you've started to understand the importance of being prepared for whatever comes your way and the processes that you can put in place, however big or small your business is, to ensure that you are as prepared as possible to reduce the impact of risk to your business and to create a speedy and effective response to whatever comes your way. Again, if you haven't yet, the Crisis Ready app is available for you through Google Play or your App Store. All you have to do is search Crisis Ready, all one word, and download the app. Once you've downloaded, it'll ask you for an entry code, and that is Risk Scenic Rim, or one word, and then you'll need to log into the app. So you can do that by registering now right at the bottom of that sign-in screen. Now, thanks to Scenic Rim Regional Council, this app is available to you for the next 2 years to support your disaster preparedness, recovery, and response. So make sure you download it and make the most of that process. The app was specifically designed for the tourism industry to build resilience through rapid response. It's designed to take the panic and the fluster out of your crisis response and guide you step by step through the actions that you may need to take to respond to a crisis situation. And whilst we can't prepare for every situation that comes our way, having an understanding of how to respond and recover effectively will support you in that response process. So we've spoken in previous videos about prevention and making sure that we assess our risks and prioritise our reduction of certain risks to our business. We've prepared by identifying key team members to be involved in our crisis response team and allocating roles and responsibilities effectively across our organisation. We've looked at the response, identifying warning systems that we need to evacuate our business, the evacuation process, and also taking our Go kit with us, making sure that we have all the documentation that we need to operate remotely from our organisation. So the final stage of 4 phases of crisis management is recovery and planning for a swift recovery. And remember that all of that is underpinned by regular rehearsal, maintenance, and review, making sure for continued improvement along your process. So, to recovery. Again, a nice little flowchart for you around the recovery process. So the first step is around keeping a close eye on your cash flow. Ensuring that you know what's coming in and what's going out of your business will help you prepare for the longer term. Reassuring customers with forward bookings that you're still open for business when you are, or finding ways to postpone their bookings as opposed to provide refunds to potential visitors. You may need to look for financial support. In certain circumstances, the government at local, state or federal level may be offering some kind of grants or response packages. So make sure that you keep a keen eye on those and draw on external support sources as you require them, such as external accountants, tax support, or government support. Through the COVID-19 process, the Queensland State Government has offered financial help to tourism operators through the financial planners. So if you do need that, make sure you hop onto the Queensland Government website and access the support that you need. Then we look at managing our staff. Do we still need all of our staff during this crisis response period? It may be that you need to review your staff structure, that you don't need them in the same way that you previously had. And consider how you can retain your employees. It may not be in the same roles that they were in previously, but can you reallocate roles and responsibilities across to keep your employees engaged? If you can't do that, you may need to make your staff redundant, or if they're casual employees, you may need to cut their contract. In doing that though, try and think about ways that you can keep connected with those staff, because eventually you will come back to 100% capacity again, and eventually you will need your staff. So if they're great staff and you want to keep connected with them, look at ways that you can help to use their skills in other ways or to support their reallocation in new roles across different businesses. A strong network can really help you recover, and maintaining that connection with your regional council, with your local tourism organisation, may assist you in supporting your staff into new roles and new organisations through those challenging times. Consider whether you need to revise your market offering and the markets that you're selling your products or experiences to. Can you still offer your experience in the same way that you used to? Do you need to scale it back? Can you only offer part of your experience? Consider what you can do to keep money flowing in and out of your business, whether that's scaling back the experiences that you're on offer or offering a totally new product or experience in a new way. Consider your target markets. Are they still available? Obviously, with COVID-19, we've seen the border closures to Melbourne and Sydney. Those markets are no longer available to us. So what other target markets can we draw on? How do we get the most value from the people who are able to come to us? It may also be that, for example, your local community has really suffered during a crisis event, and you may need to review your target markets and incentivize local people to come and experience your offering. Again, building that community spirit and putting something back, giving something back to that local community who have suffered. Review and revise your promotions. If you're going for a new product in a new market, it may be that the channels that you're used to communicating through are no longer relevant to that target market. So assess the most relevant ways of promoting your tourism business post-crisis. And then also consider your internal needs as well, your psychological needs during a crisis situation. Make sure that you're able to manage your stress levels and take care of yourself through the process. You're no use to your business if you're not in a fit state yourself. So where you need it, seek counselling support and understand the ongoing stress that's going on across the community. Your staff may also need access to counselling support, so perhaps offer some ways of connecting them with counsellors that they may need as well. In terms of analysing your business and what you can and cannot achieve in the short, medium and long term, there's some templates within your business continuity plan that help you identify what your critical business activities are, how you can plan for actions to immediately get those services, those products up and running as quickly as possible, the resources that you may be required to get those back up and running. So it may be, for example, that you need some chainsaws and some diggers to clear off your land. If you are doing that, consider pre-booking if you have some warning that a crisis is coming your way. Set yourself some objectives. How quickly do you want to get back up on your feet? And whose responsibility are each of those actions? Once they're completed, you can tick them off the list and get your business up and running as effectively as you can. Again, it may not be your whole business that you can get up and running, but certain experiences to ensure ongoing cash flow is moving through your business. Again, a similar template exists for exploring your market changes, the impact that they may have to your business, and the options that are available to you. Total loss of markets, our international markets, our Sydney, our Melbourne, may have a very different impact than a smaller aspect of your market changing. So review the most critical ones first and the impact and options that you have available to you, and then consider the secondary changes that may also impact your business. For example, after the bushfires, a lack of disposable income or a lack of ability to reach your destination. All of those may impact on the way that your business is selling, operating, and who your target markets need to be. So consider your business options that are available to you that will keep money flowing through your organisation in those challenging times. A great story of adapting to new markets or new ways of doing business is City Winery in Brisbane. Now, this is a winery that's located in the centre of Fortitude Valley. And like most tourism and hospitality business, it was forced to close its doors during COVID-19. However, they swiftly adapted their experiences to online versions of similar experiences that they used to host within the winery itself. So wine blending, wine tasting, and wine pairing was all moved into a virtual scenario where their head winemaker was able to host classes over Zoom with those who purchased their wines. Staff were maintained to do delivery services and to support the opening of a new venue as well. When it reopened, they were able to open areas of their business that were the biggest revenue earners for the organisation. So they have a fireside dining restaurant and they have a bar. Fireside dining offers a higher value of income, so they were able to open that first despite the capacity numbers. So they were very responsive to the changing market conditions, what was open to them, and identifying where their biggest profits lay in order to get their business back up and running and cash flowing as soon as possible. By adapting their experiences to an online version as well as an in-person version, they were able to then quickly adapt that in secondary and tertiary lockdowns in the Brisbane region as well. So within a very short time period, they were offering online experiences again in those later lockdowns that we felt. Now, the impacts of a crisis may not just be in the immediate, they may be a very long term. It could be 18 months, it could be 2 years, it could be longer. But consideration does need to be given to the roller coaster of psychological feelings that happen over a crisis response recovery time frame. So at the beginning, we might feel quite heroic that we've got through it, that we've banded together as a community and we've managed to make it through the challenging experience that we face, be it a bushfire, a cyclone, or some other type of crisis event. Then we get into a honeymoon phase, that feeling of survival, the anticipation of people helping and supporting, and community and external media agencies rallying behind the community to help come back after that challenging situation. Unfortunately, that honeymoon feeling may not last. There may be disappointment, anger, frustration, despair, a lack of support when people forget what has just occurred, exhaustion from fighting and trying to recover as quickly as possible, disillusionment with the amount of red tape that exists across getting the business back up and running. You may come across delays and obstacles, slipping back down that roller coaster at a different time. But eventually, there will be reconstruction. Eventually, things will get back to the way, or to a new normal, or to the way that they were previously. But you can't expect that to happen overnight. Again, just being aware of your feelings, your emotions during that process, but also that of the staff and the broader community around you as well, will help you manage the expectations and that response over time. So, when it comes to a crisis event occurring, hopefully you will have gone through and finalized those templates. You should have gone through your app and added all the information that you need. So when you hit that Start Crisis button, it's going to help you respond as seamlessly as possible. Once you're done and you're in recovery, then you also have the opportunity to reflect back on the process that you went through. Have a look at all of the actions that were completed through the post-crisis report that the app will give you. Did your staff find it challenging? Did you find it challenging to respond to certain things? Were there conflicting prioritizations of jobs that meant that you just couldn't respond in the way that you wanted? If that's the case, then make sure that you go back through your processes, your roles and your responsibilities, and you reallocate accordingly so that you can, the next time round, learn from the issues that you faced and you can have a smoother response process. So, where to from here? Well, make sure you go back through your templates and your support materials and complete all of the information that you need. Once you've completed your templates, you can input that information into your CrisisReady app. And that way, you'll be prepared for your crisis. Now, please remember that this isn't a set and forget scenario. Every year you should be reviewing your risks. Are they still the same? Have they evolved? Have they changed? Have you put actions in place to reduce those risks? And now you have other prioritizations that you need to have. So annually you should be reviewing your risk management, you should be reviewing your continuity plans, and of course you should be ongoingly testing and training your team to make sure that everybody is as responsive as possible in the case of a crisis situation. Remember, action is foundational key to success. So if you have any questions, if you want to dig deeper into any of those different aspects, then feel free to get in touch with me. My email address and telephone number are there for you, and I am available at any time to support you through this process. But please make sure that you go through those templates and fill in that information. Really start to consider the risks that your business faces and what you can do and what your team can do to reduce the risks associated with your business and to have a plan in place to respond as quickly and as effectively as you possibly can. Any questions, please reach out at any time. Otherwise, best of luck, and remember, don't just set it and forget it. This is an ongoing conversation for you and for your team moving forward. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best of luck.